Well, I'm so delighted to be here, and so delighted that you've all come and joined our venture tonight. So I speak on many different topics under many different guises. One person asked me this evening, Shay, are you going to tell us about what you do? Because it's all a bit sort of mixed up. And yes, when someone asks me what do I do, I say, well, whatever I want. I'm self-employed, so I kind of live my life in a very unusual and kind of free way, because I just go with what I want to do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm very lucky to have set my life up like that. But one of the things that all the things I do have in common is that I love the stage. So professionally, I'm a barrister. And on the open mic scene before, I've run clubs like a stand-up comedy club about 6 years ago. And following on from that, I ran a jazz open mic with the same ethos as we've got tonight. And being the person that runs the night, I also decided to be brave and take the stage as a comedian, where I was like completely shitting myself, and as a jazz singer. So I'm going to wrap this up with a story as well. When I was little, I was really, really shy. You know, I was even shy about going into McDonald's as like a teenage girl and speaking to another human being and going, hey, can I have a Happy Meal or something like that. That would freak me out, that connection with somebody else. And but what did I dream of doing? I actually dreamed of doing the thing like being the woman with the gift of the gab, being the woman that could like defend people who felt in that place and didn't know how to speak for themselves. And I thought, I want to give people that gift. And I used to really admire people who, you know, as a little girl, I remember in primary school you get teased, and there were those kids that always knew like what to say in response, you know. Probably didn't say fuck off at that age, hopefully. But I thought, I want to be that woman. I want to be the woman that, you know, when I see somebody that's like really in pain and really suffering, I'm going to go get them, you know, and they're going to be well protected. So that's what I became. That's why I became a barrister. So what I want to do with this 10 minutes that I have with you right now is try and inspire you to, you know, overcome any shyness that you might feel. As we've said, this is a community here. We'd love to see you take our stage. I don't want to come here every month and, well, I do want to share people that I know personally, but I'd like to also have you take our stage and, you know, share your stories with us, because we'd like to get to know each and every one of you. So in the experience that I've had as a barrister, as a jazz singer, as a comedian, I'm going to share my top 3 tips on how you can take the stage and not freak out about it, because this is what I do. So I will take it back to the first time that I decided to be a jazz singer. And this was one of those things. When I was little, I thought, do you know what, I really wish I could sing like Aretha Franklin. And I've got an all right voice, but I'm not Aretha. And the first time I actually had that opportunity to take the jazz stage and had an audience of about 120 people, and I was opening the night, again, I was crapping myself. You know, and I thought, oh my God, you know, I know all these tools and techniques, they do not freak out in court anymore, although I probably freaked out the first time I had to defend someone in court too. You know, what do I do? So this is what I did. The first thing I did was like change the environment that I was in. Yeah? So I was thinking, okay, so where is it that I feel really comfortable singing my heart out and, you know, not giving a shit what people think? So I thought, for me, that was in my car. Especially when I'm racing up the M1 or something like that and no one can hear this. So I feel really comfortable there. So, you know, the first thing I got up to say, I actually closed my eyes. I thought, you know what, let's really get into the song here. And pretend like, these people are not here. I'm racing up the M1, you know, and it's all good, and I'm sounding brilliant. And, you know, that's it. So you change the environment. And your brain is a very clever thing. Our brain is like the most amazing computer in the world. You know, people are going on and creating iPads and Apple and all that kind of thing. But you ask your brain, or you tell your brain anything, it can shift it in the moment. So if you ask your brain, why am I really overweight or something like that. It'll give you a ton of answers. So why not make those questions positive? Or why not do something simple like change the environment? So that's what I did that night. I just pretended, do you know what, I'm in my car. And, you know, that helped to relax me a bit more. Now the second thing that I did is what I like to call the actor strategy. And this is something that's really useful in anything that really freaks you out. If you don't have the confidence yourself, go borrow someone else's. They won't mind. And they won't even know that you're doing it, so it's okay. So one scenario where I did this was, again, it was another jazz gig. And there was a lady that came on before me, and she was singing Misty by Ella Fitzgerald, and I was singing Something's Got a Gift by Ella Fitzgerald. And I said to her, we had this quick conversation before we got on stage, and I said, do you know what, in like the 1960s, Ella got on stage at the BBC and she sang those exact two songs in that order. And I think the spirit of Ella is with us tonight, and tonight we are going to be Ella Fitzgerald, a la Stars in Their Eyes. Who remembers that show? so I don't have Ella's voice, I wish I did. But do you know what? That evening, I think her and me just took to the stage and thought, do you know what? We're not Shay and Fiona, we are like Ella Fitzgerald. And we were going up. Do you know what? That was a hell of a performance. Now I'm sure Ella, God bless her, doesn't mind that we like stole her confidence that night. But it's something that really works. So it doesn't have to be on the stage, but in anything that freaks you out. You know, in the courtroom, I think back to when I was 17 and I saw a brilliant barrister in court that nothing fazed him. You know, and to this day, not that I always need to think of him now, but it's like, in those moments where you need pure fire, I can deliver pure fire. You know, so borrow someone else's. Now just moving on from that, if you want to take that a little step further and you think, actually, I just want to be me, I don't want to be Ella, I don't want to be some amazing barrister or whatever, that's great. To take it a step further, you know, as Krish was saying, you are that person with that gift. So I do a process with this, and I don't have time to share it with you tonight, but the process is to really tap into that highest and best version of yourself. Now, I know that everybody doesn't resonate with the word God, but I do, so I'm going to use the word God, but you can use whatever you like. You know, we are somebody here that God intended us to be. And if you look at in the mirror in the morning while you brush your teeth or whatever, have a think, you know, what are those qualities that I have in me that I was intended to be when I'm at my best? Or asking it this way, what is it that, you know, I would love people to love about me? That's your highest self, that's your highest spirit that's talking to you. You can even name your highest spirit something else if it freaks you out to think, actually that's me and I don't want to connect with that. And then channel that energy into your performance. So when I do the actor strategy now, I think about what is the highest version of Shay. And for me, the highest version of Shay is not the shy 13-year-old that used to be scared of ordering a Happy Meal. The highest version of Shay is someone that's very confident, that's very charismatic, that's very playful, and is fucking fearless. So that is what I try and channel when I'm on the stage. And it works. You know, you get out of your head and you get into that space. But if you're not in the highest self space right now, then use someone else's confidence. In any scenario. Someone asked me about this, that she was like really, really scared to let some guy know how she felt about him. And I said, you know, who do you most admire that is like really flirtatious and really confident around men, right? So she thought of someone, that person was not me. And no, I'm a total mushball, but anyway. So you know, she did that, and you can fake that confidence, and it's great. It's good to give you that springboard. Now, the last tip I'm going to share on how to take the stage with confidence is to really be in a place where you're going to serve the audience. 9 times out of 10, if you're freaked out about taking the stage, or you're freaked out about doing whatever you're going to do, the voice running through your head is the I'm not good enough voice, or the what are they going to think about me voice, you know, I can't stand people talking about me like this and all that kind of thing. Okay, that's not going to help you on the stage, and it's not really going to help you in life either. What is the much better place to come from is like, how can I serve these people? If you come from a place of love, if you come from a place of just, you know, in your heart, what you want to do is you want to entertain as the jazz singer or the comedian or whatever you want to do, or you want to, you know, help the people that are in front of you, that shines through. It doesn't matter if your words get mixed. People don't notice that. They notice the energy behind the words. I don't remember the exact percentages, but in terms of like human communication, it's about 60
55 and 38.
Thank you. 65% is body language, 38% is how you use your voice, and whatever's left, because I'm not a mathematician, is your words. Thank you, 7. 7. So it's not important what you say, it's like the energy with how you say it. And I use another jazz performance for this example. I remember getting up on stage one night, and you know, we weren't as blessed that night with an audience that was sitting there really attentively. We were having an audience that were like sitting down, having a drink, having a gossip. I got on stage that night and I thought, you know what? My intention tonight is to make people put their wine glasses down because they're really blown away. And that's exactly what happened. So, you know, come from the place of love, come from the place of service, and come from a place of strong intention. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave my talk there for tonight. This is the last talk of the night as well, but we are more than happy for you to stick around, hang around. We hope to see you here next month. If you'd like to talk, please connect with Eamon or myself. And yeah, we really hope you had a good night and enjoy the rest of the evening.